We are here at the Roundup River Ranch, part of the Serious Fun network of camps, with Jen Clark and Sterling Leha, part of the management team here. And Jen, tell us a little bit about what the Roundup River Ranch is and what you guys do here.
Yeah, so Roundup River Ranch, we provide life-changing camp programs for children with serious illnesses and their families, free of charge, medically supported, and they get to come out to this beautiful campsite and do your traditional camp activities like boating, archery, art yurts, a lot of different things, and having tons of fun with their peers. What's unique about our camps is that children get to come here and they get to be grouped with people that might have a similar diagnosis or illness as them. And so they spend the whole week with each other and they'll be able to bond and connect, which they might not have the opportunity back at home to do.
And so that really kind of helps them create a little bit of a support network too with people who are going through a similar experience. So let me ask you this, Sterling. How does somebody get involved in the Roundup River Ranch, and how do the kids get selected? Isn't necessarily the right word, but how is that process?
Sure. Well, community is very important at Roundup River Ranch. Like Jen said, it's where families can meet other families on similar life journeys. So for that reason, a lot of our campers are referred to us by physicians and nurses and medical staff in hospitals and clinics. We also have campers referred to us from schools. Parents are great advocates and often will help us recruit as they meet other parents at support network meetings and things like that. We work hard to serve the kids who need camp the most. And so we start by always working on finding kids who would not otherwise have a camp experience.
And nobody has to pay for anything, correct? All of the kids that are coming out here, it's all donated time, all volunteers, all everything is kind of there to support them. So let me ask you this. Tell me a little bit about how the support network came about and how this camp kind of originated.
Yeah, great question. So part of the Serious Fun Children's Network of camps, Paul Newman, the Hollywood actor that everyone's familiar with, started a camp in Connecticut called Hole in the Wall Gang Camp. And his kind of philanthropy really wanted to give back to kids that maybe couldn't go to a camp or had a medical issue and wanted to really give back to that community and make sure they can still raise a little hell and be a kid and go to camp. And so that started, and it really morphed now into about 9 domestically, but 30 kind of worldwide. So it's huge, and everyone has a similar mission. So all the camps are free, and we're all serving children with serious illnesses. So Roundup River Ranch really started with board members on the Serious Fun Children's Network who had houses out here, and they, really wanted to push having a camp out here. So we started talking to hospitals in Denver, started talking to the right people. And then we started a campaign. And as Sterling mentioned, community is amazing out here. People wanted to jump in and really help get this campsite literally from the ground up. And so it was founded in 2006 by passionate people in the community that got the right people together to build a campaign, get the campsite going, and we were able to open in 2011 to just over, I think, 200 campers. And the gates opened, and they had an amazing week-long experience.
And you guys are still growing to this day, correct? You guys have just kind of gotten off of a major fundraising campaign over the course of the summer, and you've got a great program that's starting up today, too, to kind of help bring a lot of those families in together, not just the kids. So could you tell us a little bit about the family camps that are coming up this weekend and what you guys have planned for the future?
Absolutely. We love our family camp programs because it's a great opportunity for the whole family to have respite together. My favorite part of family camp is usually on Sunday morning when I walk into the cookhouse, and next to the fireplace there's a couple of dads just sitting there together, and they all just know what each other are going through. And that sense of community is so incredibly important. While we never want a family to have to come to Roundup River Ranch, we want to make sure that as many families as need camp can come as possible. So you mentioned our campaign. Our goal is to build 3 additional cabins so we can support more campers in our summer camp programs and more families during our family camp programs.
So the family camps, they kind of start to kick off as school gets started and the kids are a little bit more busy with their normal schedules. But I imagine that it gives the parents especially a really great opportunity to kind of relax and recover. I mean, personally, I can't imagine how stressful that's got to be to have a kid going through that and being largely unable to help directly and just kind of be there to support them. So what goes on while the families are here? How do you guys kind of help support that relaxation and that bonding?
Yeah, so our programs are varied throughout the weekend. We have some programs where the whole family do them together. And for many of our families, they've spent so much time focused on clinic appointments and doctor's appointments that's how they spend their family time. And there's so much value in the power of play. And so being able to play together is so important. A lot of these kids are often told what they can't do over and over again, and the parents are very nervous and always, kind of putting the bubble around their kids. So to come out here and see them running around and being silly as a whole family, and for us to be able to say, yes, you can. Of course you can do archery, and provide all those adaptations and modifications that kids might need is incredibly, incredibly important. And then we also have adult-only program. And so during the weekend, we'll have spaces that the kids can get together and be kids together, and the parents can get together and support one another, have adult-only time, which can sometimes be hard when you're a caregiver for a child with a serious illness. And so to be able to say to a family, no, it's okay. We'll have nurses and doctors there. So if your child has a seizure, you don't have to worry about it. We're here. We'll take care of it. And if we need you, we'll come get you. That look of relief and respite is just incredibly powerful.
Well, and I would imagine that for the parents too, having that opportunity to kind of bond with somebody who's in a similar situation and have that ability to share a little bit of that experience is really powerful. Have you heard anything from the parents after the fact about meeting up later or maintaining friendships with the other families going forward?
Absolutely. And they all plan to come back to the same camp again next year. But yeah, we hear a lot of that. They'll start their own communities, share email addresses. Sometimes they'll do little Facebook support groups to really reach out and stay connected throughout the year, because when everyone goes back, they take a piece of camp with them. And it's a different feeling of, maybe their neighbors or their groups or the people that they connect with at school. Some of these kids may have allergies or so bad or so much medication or so many appointments that they can't go to birthday parties like their friends at home. They can't do the same sports as their friends. So this is really their community to say, we understand, we see you, we want to do things with you, we want to support you.
Well, and that's also part of the beauty of these Serious Fun camps and Roundup River Ranch is that you guys do have that medically supported aspect. And that way you can kind of always support the kids, give them whatever they need, and allow them to really have that freedom to play and be kids and bond with each other. And I would imagine that the kids maintain friendships throughout, not just their visits at camp, but when they're gone. And if the kids are coming back time and time again, I imagine those friendships really last for a long time. You guys have any experience of that? Any fun personal stories?
Actually, this weekend, and I think in the cabin behind us, we have two kids who have become lifelong friends through camp. Reconnecting at camp, reconnecting at camper reunions is such an important part for them because it's their friend who truly understands them. And we see the same thing with siblings. This is a space that siblings can meet other siblings who uniquely understand what it means to have a brother or a sister with a serious illness and what that means for the family, what that means for, the time and attention that their brother or sister might take. And so we also see that in that space, which is really, really impactful.
And speaking of the cabins and everything, when the kids are out here, how long are they out here for a typical summer camp program? And sort of what does a normal summer camp week for just the kids program look like? Jen?
Yeah, so it's about 5 days. So we have them here overnight. So they stay into the cabins that we're sitting in front of. And all of their meals are here. So they're in the Trent's Cookhouse in the dining hall. We do breakfast, lunch, dinner. And it's a full day of activities. I mean, they are tired, but they're adrenaline being around each other. They just want to keep going. So one morning we have early elk as well. So we have those kids that do like to wake up early and not sleep in. And that could be just doing some stretching are going to our pond and doing some fishing early in the morning. And then they'll go and kind of go into their cabin groups and then kind of rotate. So they'll do archery, they'll go do boating, they'll do fishing, they'll do the climbing wall, the zip line. We have an art yurt. We also have a sound garden called Lily's Garden where they can go and sit and play music and bond. And then at night it continues. We do one night is a no-hand spaghetti dinner so they can all dip their faces in spaghetti and spaghetti sauce. Camp dancing happens in the cookhouse. It just keeps going, and then it goes into the bedtime routine, and it ends in a wonderful candle chat where they all get to bond, talk about the day, and those are truly the conversations where the connection really happens, and that peer-to-peer conversation of understanding what maybe a friend has gone through and then realizing you want to support them and you've also gone through the same thing. And those are those powerful bonds that you really can't get anywhere else except in these cabins with a candle lit and talking with your peers.
Well, I mean, it's an absolutely incredible program, and I'm sure you guys are giving everybody a wonderful experience, but a lot goes into that behind the scenes. So how do people get involved, and how can people help support the Roundup River Ranch and the Serious Fun networks?
Sure. So Roundup River Ranch truly takes a community. We have a small but mighty team that is working on camp year-round. But we absolutely thrive on volunteers. We need volunteers to serve as family buddies during family programs, to help run activities, be cabin counselors, help in the kitchen, support mailings. I mean, the list goes on and on. So regardless of what someone's time commitment looks like or what their interest is, we're always able to find a way for folks to get involved. As you mentioned earlier, all of our programs are completely free of charge. And so we also have fundraising events throughout the year that people can get involved in, which is a great way to help support a child coming to camp completely free of charge.
Awesome. And if people are looking for more information about Roundup River Ranch, they can find that at roundupriverranch.org. And you guys have any other contact info, phone numbers, or anything that we can reach out?
Yeah, if anyone has questions on our volunteer opportunities or want a little bit more personal information, you can reach out to info@Roundup River Ranch. You can come out for a tour. We love walking people around the campsite, showing them what all the different things they can do, and everything else is on the website. So reach out. We love to talk to people. We love meeting face to face, and we love getting people out here on Colorado River Road.
And I'm sure if anybody's interested in donating, they don't need to wait till a fundraiser, correct?
That is true. You can donate and help support this incredible cause directly through our website, or like Jen said, reach out, give us a call, or send us an email, and we're happy to support you doing that.
Awesome. Well, Sterling Leahy, thank you so much. And Jen Clark, thank you guys so much for stopping by. We'll be right back with a little bit more from the Roundup River Ranch right after this.